Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 11. I hope you are doing well. I know I've been pretty busy, and you probably have been too. Here is what we have coming up as far as assignments go. We have some readings this week in Lipson and Wixon. We are reading about informal reading inventories, so those are the page numbers in that. We're also taking a look at the core, pages 77 to 119 and Appendix A18 to A21. And then I have an article for you, a great one that has to do with fluency and giving you a very rich and full definition of fluency, which is from the Reading Research Quarterly produced by the International Reading Association. So those are the three readings for this week: Lipson and Wixon, core, and an article. Assignments due this week, November 9th at midnight. You have WAPR number 7, which is on the QRI you are doing with your new student. Video number 4, again, choose one QRI to give of the QRIs you give your student, choose one to use for your video. I have decided to move the RTI plan to November 16th because I will likely not be able to grade it for you the weekend of November 9th. So instead of pressuring you to get it in by that deadline when I won't even be able to look at it until the following weekend anyway, I figured I might as well just give you a 1-week extension. But I know many of you have already started working together, collaborating, and sending some ideas and questions my way, so keep doing that. But the official due date is now November 16th. More info on the RTI plan. I just want to reiterate that there are two pieces to this. Your actual intervention plans using that table chart document, and then you need to provide a rationale. So your group will need to submit your plans with all of your names on them in the header would be best, and then your rationale with all of your names on that as well. So that is the goal for those. There is no PowerPoint or presentation. I put some resources up for you that I think caused some confusion. The PowerPoint and those resources are for the group presentations you are doing at the end of the semester when you and your content area group are going to report out some of the various assessments you have been given and that you are giving. Which reminds me, I will definitely need to give you more information about those group presentations next week so that you have time to try some out with your student. All right, session number 7 is pretty straightforward. We are doing the QRI for narrative and expository. There is a video due. Now, since this week we are really talking about the full definition of fluency, I would like you to use Rosinski's multidimensional fluency rubric in order to score your student in all of those areas of fluency, not just accuracy and rate, but also expression, volume, prosody, all of those pieces. And then I also want you to find a percentile ranking for them. So getting a norm reference score, if you will, from the Hasbrook and Tyndall rubric. So in your WAPR, please make sure you provide scores for the multidimensional fluency rubric and the Hasbrook and Tyndall. So again, WAPR number 7, you need to report the following information. In Lipson and Wixon on page 388 or 378, for the various editions, there is a table of how you can organize all of that data. Highly recommend checking that out. You will need to report the words per minute. Even if the student reads silently, you still need to time how long it takes them to read silently, and then you can determine the words per minute, but you cannot determine the words correct per minute. So you will need to report the words correct per minute if the student reads aloud. but if the student reads silently, just the words per minute. We need that percentile ranking from the Hasbrouck-Tyndall rubric that's available on Titanium. And then we need a score for their fluency using Rosinski's multi-dimensional fluency scale. So a lot of data points and stats to provide. Please make sure you have all of these things in your WAPR to get full points for that piece. Here is a great table for organizing all of the information. A couple of you used something like this last time, where you have the passage name, the level it is, the type, expository or narrative, the percent accuracy, percent acceptability. Here's where you would put words per minute, which can be calculated for text read aloud or silently. Here is words correct per minute, which is only appropriate if the text is read aloud. Percentile score, Hasbrouck-Tyndall rubric. Fluency score from the multidimensional fluency scale. This is for the activating schema section, the content knowledge, concept questions, retelling percentage, number explicit, number implicit, and then overall comprehension. For the explicit and implicit, please put 4 out of 4 or 3 out of 4, not just a number. It's very helpful to give the total with it as well. So all of this data should be represented in your WAPR. It could be on a separate sheet. It could be embedded in the chart. It would probably be easier to do it on a separate sheet. I know someone did that last time and it said see, following sheet, and they had this table with all of this data and it was very nicely organized. So please do that. Makes it very reader friendly. Another great table is on Lipson and Wixon page 400, but there's a similar one in your QRI where you're looking at the word from the text, what the student responded, and then thinking about, is that a meaning changing miscue? Is it contextually acceptable? Was it self-corrected? Is it graphophonically similar? Component difficulty, you can check that out. Or here's yet another great table that probably makes a little bit more sense. It is on page 67 of your QRI. So again, this will help you analyze the miscues, which it's hard to use something like this if they don't make very many miscues. You can't really identify a pattern if your sample size of errors is small, if you will. But if you are giving them something at their instructional level, they'll probably have some more miscues, and you can analyze those for patterns and trends so you can plan some appropriate instruction. Just a heads up for session 8, we are talking about comprehension next week, and so you are doing some more comprehension assessments. The core reading maze is required from your core book, and then you will need to give 2 additional comprehension assessments. I may scale that back down to 1, and there will be a video due from this session. It will be video number 5, and then we just have 1 more after that. Here are some optional assessments. Now, think about the fact that you should be ideally finding the student's informational and independent level for QRI narrative and expository this week, but that is a lot of QRI assessments, so you can wait and give some more next week because we are still talking about comprehension, and the QRI measures both fluency and comprehension. So it is okay to just do 2 QRIs this week and to do some more next week so your poor student does not revolt on you. Speaking of next week, we have some articles, we have some readings from Lipson and Wixon, we have the core. You're doing your 8th session. We're getting closer and closer to the last one. You have your 8th WAPR getting closer and closer to the last one. Video number 5. So that's what's going on. Good luck. This week's a busy week. Next week's a busy week, but we are definitely winding down with the course. It seems like from the emails I've been getting, you've been learning a lot about assessment, so that is great. I think everyone's gotten a lot better at analyzing assessments, at least from what I've seen. So keep up the great work. Hang in there. We will get through this semester, I promise you. And meet me back here for part 2 of week 11.